Good evening, everyone. I'm Melanie Hankins Booth, and I'm welcoming you to the 48th Annual Starkville Christmas Parade and our live broadcast here from the steps of the First United Methodist Church. It's a chilly night here, and it is my pleasure to be with our co-host, Anthony Craven, this evening. Anthony, welcome.
Melanie, thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm excited to be here, a longtime Starkville resident, longtime attendee of the parade. First time, though, sitting next to you here on the parade broadcast. This is the 42nd live broadcast of the parade here from the steps of the First United Methodist Church in Starkville. It's a part of the church's TV ministry and local community TV station, Channel 5 WOBV.
And thank you for your time, because Anthony is a very busy man. Anthony is the general manager for Mississippi State University's radio station, WMSV. Anthony, you may also recognize his voice as the public address announcer for Mississippi State football games and the Lady Bulldog basketball games, and as the commentary for SEC Network sports for MSU Lady Bulldog softball and soccer. So, Anthony, thank you for giving us your time. This is going to be a wonderful, wonderful evening here tonight.
It usually is, Melanie.
Yes.
As you're well aware, it's a long tradition, the parade is, of recognizing the collaborative efforts between the city of Starkville, the Greater Starkville Development Partnership, the GSDP, MSU, and the local community TV station WOBV right here at the Methodist Church in downtown Starkville.
Absolutely. It takes a lot of volunteers to make this happen.
That's right.
And we'll talk more about that as the evening goes on. But we're excited about the entries tonight. We have a lot of commercial entries. We have some businesses, some new ones. We have a bank and we have a fitness center. And then, of course, we are always so appreciative of our Mississippi State entries. We have the Eco car tonight and some other dignitaries that you'll recognize later. And also, I'm so excited this year we have our first annual food truck in the Starkville Christmas Parade. So that's huge. And also some newly returning entries that have been in the parade in the past. One of them I'm particularly excited about is the Magnolia Film Festival will be marching as well. So we just have our lineup, a beautiful lineup in store.
Yeah, it should be an exciting night. More floats than usual this year in the parade. So more floats, including a new float from the MSU Extension Equine Assisted Therapy Program. Great to have them on board here in 2019. There will be, as usual, some walking units, including scout troops, some Pee Wee football players and cheerleaders, and of course, local church groups, part of the parade lineup tonight.
Yes, and of course, a couple of my favorite entries, one obviously being Santa Claus, but after that, we have the MSU Famous Maroon Band. Now, Anthony, how fortunate are we that we have the Maroon Band in our parade? I mean, and they should be coming, they're leading things off, so they will get things going well in the spirit of the parade. Another thing in our spirit of the parade is our traditional reporter on the street. This year, we're really blessed to have Michelle Lowe, and y'all may recognize her through her more recent local broadcasting work with Channel 4, WCBI.
Yeah, that's right.
But we have Michelle Lowe with us as our reporter on the street. Welcome, Michelle, and tell us what's going on down there.
Yeah, and thank you so much for that very warm welcome, because down here we really need it. It's all of 32 degrees. And what a great way to come out of television retirement than to hit the streets of Starkville for one of their oldest traditions. We've got people who are already lined up to catch all the action. This year's theme is Town and Gown, which certainly leaves it up to some translation. We're excited about some of the unique ideas that we're going to see, some of the returning of the new, or the incorporation of some new and the returning of the old. What we're going to do is we're going to check in with the judges to kind of see what it is that they're looking for. But first, you're going to give a finer point on the history of Starkville's Christmas Parade, as well as that theme that I just mentioned. So we're going to send it back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. So there is a lot of tradition, this being the 42nd broadcast, like you mentioned earlier, here on the steps of the First United Methodist Church, and the 48th Annual Parade. And so many interpretations of the theme tonight at Town and Gown. Now, the good news is we have over 60 entries. So it's going to be a wonderful parade, a lot of walking units, a lot of floats, a lot of folks coming in, but 60 entries and many interpretations, because what this is a little bit of a competition, you know.
Always is. And don't forget, we'll have the star of the show towards the end of the parade. Santa Claus himself on the rotary float will end our parade. And then after the parade, Santa Claus will join us on set for a live interview, his first live appearance this season here in our area. So make sure, boys and girls, you stay tuned for that.
Yes, and so we have a lot of folks already gathering. You saw them in Michelle's interview down there. A lot of folks are gathering here under the lights in front of the church, and this is a great place to gather. So come now if you can, but if you can't, then obviously some of you are watching on Channel 5, but we're also doing a live stream on the internet, anywhere you can receive internet access. So you've got plenty of time to contact your family and friends and let them know to tune in to the live broadcast of the Starkville Christmas Parade.
Or, as Mel mentioned earlier, come out here and watch it with us live here in front of the steps of the First United Methodist Church on Lambkin Street or anywhere else down the University Drive Main Street corridor here in Starkville. It is perfect weather for a Christmas parade. It feels like December, feels like Christmas. In fact, let's get a closer look at our weather tonight. Let's toss it over to Rhiannon Jackson, who has our forecast in the studio.
Thanks, guys. It is currently 39 degrees, feels like 35, and when Santa arrives at 7 p.m., it's 38, feels like 33 with a chilly breeze. Hope you're all staying warm. Say hi to Santa for me.
Great job giving us that weather report. That was Rhiannon Jackson, and she is a professional meteorology student at Mississippi State University. And so that was a nice little flare. And as she told us, it's sort of chilly out here. They've got a long route to go, and all the way through, they are preparing to be in front of the judges here so that that competition for those judging categories can begin.
That's right. They're here for fun, but also here to win. Yes. Several different competitions that are going on throughout the parade. 3 main judging criteria area: best use of lights, best use of parade theme, and best overall float. Those are all awards that will be handed out when the parade comes to a close later on tonight.
And typically we have the results at the end of our broadcast with our reporter on the street, who is Michelle Lowe. And I think we're going to go and see what she has with the judges right now.
Yeah, Melanie, as promised, what we're going to do is talk to the judges for a few minutes and just see exactly what you guys are looking for. We know the 3 criteria, we know the 3 classes and 3 awards that are up for grabs. What is it that you're looking for tonight?
Just mainly the most brightest lights, like we said, you know, because sometimes they're not too lit up, and you want to be, you know, pretty with a lot of different lights.
Okay, so with the theme Town and Gown, what exactly are you looking to see? What are you expecting tonight?
Well, Town and Gown is kind of...
It's hard. Let's face it, everybody. It is hard.
Right. We were just talking, but the Town and Gown magazine is supposed to be about the like the university and the city and the surrounding area. So I guess we're just looking for something to that effect.
Yeah, and I do think that it does open up for a lot of originality, a lot of uniqueness. So it should be interesting to see exactly what people do. But for you, it's all about the light.
Right. Well, the lights, and, you know, you try to, like you say, you try to just look at everything with an open mind, you know?
Right. It's all about the overall picture. You know, Starkville Christmas Parade and Christmas parades across the country are all about pageantry. And I think there's something about bringing that tradition to the streets that's always a lot of fun.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll check back with all of you at the end of the show just to see who's going to take home the big awards. Back to y'all.
Thank you, Michelle. You know, it is such a collaborative effort. You know, we talked about how it's volunteers because the community has to participate to give us our floats, and then the partnership has to put it all together, and then we do the broadcast here. And we have entries from the community, we have entries from the county, we have entries from Mississippi State, and that's what this whole collaborative effort is all about, and that's the Town and Gown theme. And so we should be seeing a lot of that. But one of the things I'm really excited about in the broadcast is at the end, we're actually going to do an interview with Mike Taggart, who is going to be as of January 7th, I believe, he's going to be our new Chief Executive Officer for the Greater Starkville Development Partnership, and also in a collaborative effort with the university, he is the Associate Director of Corporate Engagement and Partnerships. And so he's going to tell us all a little bit more about what we have in store for us with this new collaboration between the community and Mississippi State University.
So we'll interview Mike, we'll interview Santa Claus himself. We also will feature our 2019 Starkville Christmas Parade Co-Grand Marshals, and Michelle Lowe has more on that. Michelle?
Well, spoiler alert, they're both people that we're all very familiar with. Starkville Mayor Lynn Spruill and Dr. Mark Keenum. Right after the break, we'll learn much more about them and their journey through Starkville and how they became so influential and so meaningful to all of us. But before we go to break, here's a quick look at our sponsors. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Our sponsors are so important tonight at the Starkville Christmas Parade, and you saw there the picture of Dr. Joe and Miss Leota Cardwell. The television ministry at Starkville United Methodist Church started in 1976, and Dr. Joe and Miss Leota were huge supporters of our ministry, and made a lot of things happen for us, and just loved us. And Dr. Joe worked here, Anthony, on the talent camera there for years and years, and we especially appreciate them, and we honor their memory by doing our best and by serving in our best capacity here at the Starkville Christmas Parade and through the ministry of the church. You know, we have a lot of great programming going on right now. Starkville Channel 5 is not only on Max South, but on the Cellular South system as well.
Awesome.
And we did a recent upgrade so that our signal reaches more homes in our community. And we've got some great programming, some other local church programming, and also some network programming that's really, really good. And one thing I'm particularly excited about, do you like the old movies? Do you like the old television shows, Bonanza, and those sort of shows? Well, we run those in the afternoon here, and if you need information, then you can call the station and find out more about that. But right now, we're at the Starkville Christmas Parade, 48th Annual, and we've got some Grand Marshal information to share. Our Grand Marshals this year, Dr. Mark Keenum and Mayor Lynn Spruill.
That's right. Our first highlighted Grand Marshal is the president of MSU, Dr. Mark Keenum.
Dr. Mark Everett Keenum became Mississippi State University's 19th president on January 5, 2009, following a distinguished public service career. He has served as Chief of Staff to U.S. Senator Thad Cochran in Washington, D.C., and was the Undersecretary of the U.S. Department of Agriculture prior to returning home to Mississippi State. Now in his 10th year of tenure, Dr. Keenum has guided Mississippi State to unprecedented heights. The university has experienced record enrollment growth.
In that we, for the first time in our university's history, enrolled more than 22,000 students. And that's been a goal for our university for many years. In fact, the enrollment this fall was 22,201 students.
Dr. Keenum travels frequently to Washington, D.C., meeting with congressional leaders and federal agency heads to pursue research opportunities and broaden the university's influence on the national level. Dr. Keenum's passion for international engagement, transformative research, and service has positioned Mississippi State as a leader in addressing global food security and poverty. In 2014 and again in 2016, he was invited to address the United Nations in New York City.
Have only begun to scratch the surface of what research, extension, and teaching at academic institutions can contribute to improve health, safety, and security for millions of people around the world.
Starkville Christmas Parade Co-Grand Marshal Dr. Mark Everett Keenum.
How fortunate we are to have such wonderful Grand Marshals in the parade, and as the police motorcade or motorcycle Brigade approach us, we'll talk a little bit more about our co-grand marshals after we introduce these guys that we see on the screen in front of us.
That's right, led by Chief Frank Nichols. The Starkville Police Department this year realized a 20-year dream, Mel, of moving into their own dedicated facility. The old City Hall and older armory was renovated into new space for the police department. If you have not had a chance to see it, drop by and take a look. It's fantastic. The space is amazing. There's also a community room. They're available to the public for meeting space. The construction tripled the department's space to 29,000 square feet. And here you see just a couple of the many hard-working men and women who make up our Starkville Police Department force.
And behind him, behind the motorcycle policeman, I also see the Starkville High School Junior ROTC that are beginning to present the banner, as is tradition, for the Starkville Christmas Parade. And coming behind them, I believe, is the Grand Marshals. Let us mention our other co-Grand Marshal, Lynn Spruill, Mayor Lynn Spruill. Special thank you to her for being the co-host last year with us. And on this parade broadcast, she's a native of Starkville, a graduate of Starkville High School in Mississippi State, and a United States naval officer and pilot, being the first woman in the history of the Navy to qualify as a carrier pilot in '79. Then she moved back here in 2004 and began to run Spruill Properties, and then was the chief executive officer for two of our mayors, Mayor Dan Kemp and Mayor Parker Wiseman. And now she has been the first female elected and the first to serve as the mayor for the city of Starkville.
And there you see the Starkville High School Junior ROTC Yellow Jacket Battalion. They've taken part, Mel, in this parade for the past 20+ years. The Starkville High School Army Junior ROTC program is over 100 cadets strong. Marching tonight is a small representation of the Yellow Jacket Battalion. The cadets present the colors at all home football games and take part in numerous civic service projects, and they support local organizations and churches throughout Starkville and the state of Mississippi. SHS, Junior ROTC cadets can also take part on two other competitive teams, air rifle and physical training, which also compete throughout Mississippi, representing Starkville High and the city of Starkville. The instructors for the Yellow Jacket Battalion are retired Lieutenant Colonel Charlize Webb, Senior Army instructor.
Wow, so disciplined, and they work very hard at Starkville Junior ROTC. And there they are, our lady and our gentleman of the hour.
That's right.
Our Grand Marshals for the Starkville Christmas Parade in the same car. And again, we were talking about Mayor Spruill and Dr. Keenum, how blessed that we are to have such great leadership for our university and for our community. And we'll talk later more about how, you know, as the community goes, excuse me, as the university goes, so does the community. So,
that's right.
So in our best interest to have this bond that we have and to work so well together.
Really, 10 years of effective leadership, to have that sort of continuity in the president's office on campus. And I work on campus, and I've had a chance to work with Dr. Keenum closely on several projects, and it really is a blessing to have him be here for an entire decade, and to see he and Mayor Spruill in the same car leading off this parade. Can there be a better embodiment of the town and gown working relationship than to have those two in the same vehicle to start this parade?
No, and a fitting what comes after that, with the famous maroon band coming up upon us. You know, Mississippi State has one of the oldest traditions in the Southeast and has been a significant part of the Mississippi State family in the famous maroon band for more than 110 years. Is that not crazy?
Wow.
They also play a key role in the student life at Mississippi State, representing 13 different states and almost every college and school on campus. The membership provides students with opportunities to develop not just their musicianship, but their social skills and leadership and everything, regardless of their field of study. And they are great students, with over 75% of the band graduated from the top 25 of their high school classes. They're going to come and play a song for us, but before they do, just know that 390 members of the famous maroon band perform at football games as well as other university functions, with 5 concert bands and a band ensemble serving as the premier concert band. In addition to the marching and concert bands, the students participate in jazz band and a pep band. And here they are right in front of us. And I know that we always enjoy listening to their performance and seeing them march. So why don't we just do that now? Is leading into exams.
That's right.
They are having their final test, and then they are preparing for Dead Week to study for their exams, and they give their time to come out here in the Starkville Christmas Parade. And the leadership, thank you to the leadership of the MSU Famous Maroon Band.
Great to have them help kick off our festivities. There you see Police Chief Frank Nichols of Starkville PD began his law enforcement career in December of 1992 with SPD. He rose from the rank of patrolman up to being appointed the Chief of Police in 2014. Chief Nichols holds degrees from Mississippi State with a Master of Science in Criminal Justice degree from Troy University. He's also a graduate of the FBI National Academy. Great to have him as part of our festivities here tonight.
And following along behind the Fire Chief Charles Yarbrough, Starkville Fire Chief leads the fire department, which currently represents 5 stations serving the city of Starkville. The Starkville Fire Department provides service to over 25,000 Starkville residents and 20,000 students at Mississippi State University. Our Starkville Fire Chief, Charles Yarbrough.
And right behind him is Pafford EMS, Emergency Ambulance Services. They're now riding through as part of the parade in 2019. Pafford EMS is housed at the Starkville Fire Department here in town. Great to have them as part of the festivities here in 2019.
Yes, we were sorry to hear that the Starkville Board of Aldermen could not make it, but they're always big supporters of the Starkville Christmas Parade, and so we appreciate that, and we look forward to seeing them again next year. I think coming behind them will be the Starkville Fire Department, Anthony. I love it when they bring these trucks, the children on the streets of the parade. We love it. And again, what an effort from our city to bring out our best.
That's right, and there they are. One of the many fire trucks that belong to the city. The fire truck is always a delight to the kids. There's one right there riding on top. 3 more that get a VIP ride there in the sidecar, and they love, whether they're in the audience or riding in the truck themselves, they love to see the fire truck come through the parade.
Yes, and it may be because those youngsters are on the fire truck there that they are not blowing the horns like they do sometimes, because that will be very frightening if you're not ready for it.
So it's louder than this?
It's much
is what
louder
you're saying
than this
normally?
when they hit the horn there. But those kids were so cute, and you know that's what the Starkville Christmas Parade is really about: the participation. These young kids coming out, whether they're in the parade or whether they're watching, it's so special.
And there you see coming up the street. Oh yeah, you see all those lights. Starkville Utilities is on its way through in one of their bucket trucks. This truck is decorated in thousands of lights and represents all of the divisions of the department that serve the city of Starkville. The bucket truck is typically used for line or pole work in the electric division. The drivers and riders you see are some of Starkville Utilities' dedicated linemen. Starkville Utilities was incorporated back in 1939, Mel. The organization provides electric, drinking water, and wastewater services to the residents, businesses, and industries in Starkville and the university.
Oh boy, do we have a contender. Remember, there is a judging category called Best Use of Light. Look at this, Frosty the Snowman in the bucket. How appropriate is that? And the best use of lights there. Now, here's a fun fact about the Starkville Christmas Parade. Back in the day, we used to have the bucket truck here in front of us so that there would be a camera catching the action all the way down the street. It was the odd man out, Anthony, that had to get in the bucket and run the camera there. But we're glad they're in the parade
They're
this
part
year.
of the festivities, having a more fun time this
and
year.
Sheriff Steve Gladney is the 25th Sheriff of Oktibbeha County, leading a department of 28 deputies covering 459 square miles. And that department is one of only 4 sheriff's departments that is currently state accredited. And that was Sheriff Gladney leading, as he does, with a mission to provide fair, honest, impartial, and professional services to all of our citizens. Thank you, Sheriff Gladney. We appreciate you very much.
And now we have each of the 5 Oktibbeha County Board of Supervisors coming through in front of our broadcast setup. District 1, John Montgomery. District 2, Orlando Trainer. District 3, Marvel Howard. District 4, Brickley Miller. District 5, Joe Williams. They're all riding up the road to come see us. The Board of Supervisors is the chief policy-making and administrative body of the County of Oktibbeha. Each of the 5 districts elects a supervisor who serves a 4-year term, while each supervisor may separately handle some administrative duties in his or her district. Together, the members set the policy. In addition to road construction and maintenance, the board can also set traffic regulations for the county roads in Oktibbeha County.
Wow, what a great crowd we have gathered. I recognize those grandparents there with that little grandson. And appreciate everybody. This is a good spot because under the lights you get a really great view of what the floats and the walking units and the cars really look like. And so look how many folks are actually gathered here. That will encourage folks next year to come and join us in front of the steps of the First United Methodist Church.
And there you see the Oktibbeha County Board of Supervisors. I knew they were coming eventually.
Yeah.
There you see I think they got all 5 in the same vehicle, perhaps. John Montgomery, Orlando Trainer, Marvel Howard, Brickley Miller, and Joe Williams all dedicate countless hours outside of their regular 9-to-5 jobs that they have. They dedicate countless hours to serving our county here in Oktibbeha.
Yeah, and coming up right behind them, the Oktibbeha County Emergency Management and the Enhanced 911 under the direction of Christina Campanella. Did you know that there's a state comprehensive emergency management plan for dealing with natural and man-made disasters and civil disorder? That's what they're all about. So each county has to have a coordinated effort to deal with that. And she's showing us how that she can get our attention in case of emergency there. As part of the plan, the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency conducts preparedness training, and they exercise programs for local emergency management directors and for their staff. So thanks to the Enhanced 911 system. And she's telling us Merry Christmas.
They made their presence known here at the parade. Behind them, you've already seen the Starkville City Fire Department. Now we have the Oktibbeha County Fire Department blowing the horns and waving to the crowd. The Oktibbeha County Fire Department is a completely volunteer service, providing services including fire protection, hazardous materials response, rescue, and emergency medical services. The Oktibbeha County Fire Department wants you to know they appreciate the strong community support they received in 2019 and wish everyone a safe and happy holiday season. Their member agencies are Adaton Volunteer Fire Department, the Bell Schoolhouse Volunteer Fire Department, Central Oktibbeha, District 5, East Oktibbeha, Town of Mabon, and Town of Sturgis Volunteer Fire Departments.
Wow, now see, you understand what I was talking about how loud that can actually be.
You warned me, that's right.
I did, I gave you good warning.
Now I know.
Now the distinguished young woman of Starkville is Miss Jasmine Baker, and she was one of the 6 state winners from our community to win, from Starkville to win on a national level. And this year, the young woman is Miss Jasmine Baker, a senior at Starkville High School, and she plays on the volleyball team and track team, and she's in broadcast journalism, and she's won many awards. She's also the class president. Her goal, are y'all ready for this? She wants to be an NFL sports reporter and has enjoyed shadowing college football student recruiters. She was the first runner-up in the DYW of Mississippi program in July, and she won the overall award for overall self-expression.
Congrats, Jasmine. Now we have Pac 45 Cub Scouts of the Boy Scouts of America. Pac 45 is chartered by the Starkville First United Methodist Church and is part of the Pushpataha Area Council that serves 10 counties. There are currently 55 boys and girls from kindergarten through 5th grade. This group continuously earns the gold level in the Scouts BSA Journey to Excellence and collects almost $5,000 each year during their food drive to use in different community ministries.
And one thing that's significant, do you see the leaders out there and the parents that are supporting Scout Troop 45? If you've ever walked in one of these parades, Anthony, and been responsible for those young people while they walk, you know that that is an experience in and of itself. And while I'm talking about that, the good news is those folks who are marching tonight can go home and watch the rebroadcast of this parade tomorrow night at 7 o'clock and see how cute they actually looked.
Speaking of cute, how about this bunch? Right here, Boardtown Dance has been serving the Starkville community for 5 years. Boardtown Dance exists to provide quality instruction while developing talent, confidence, and a passion for dance. This float was inspired by the dedication and spirit of MSU alumni and fans. Mississippi State leaves a lasting impact on the lives of students, faculty, and staff, and it has a special place in the hearts of all those who step on its campus. The cowbell on the float, one of MSU's most notable and unique traditions.
Yes, and WCBI is your news leader, and they are participating in the Starkville Christmas Parade. Your place for local news, weather, and sports 7 days a week. Riding, we noticed those folks that we recognize. Our anchor, Andrea Self, Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson, and that truck was being, or excuse me, that car was being driven by General Manager Derek Rogers, a very good student of mine this last semester, along with his sweet wife, Mary Carol Sullivan. We appreciate WCBI participating in the Starkville Christmas Parade every year. We really appreciate that.
Got the boss man driving the car. That's impressive stuff.
Absolutely.
Coming up next in the parade route, we have Cub Scout Pack 127, one of several Cub Scout packs that are part of the parade this year. Cub Scout Pack 127 is sponsored by the Knights of Columbus of St. Joseph Catholic Church here in Starkville. The pack is in its 3rd year of existence, and this is their 3rd time appearing in the Christmas parade. There they are waving to everyone in attendance. Did you know that their pack grew from 15 scouts last year to 42 this year? Exciting stuff going on there in Pack 127.
Wow. Our excellent handheld camera operator is doing a good job down there with our reporter on the street, Michelle Lowe, to really feel the flavor and to give us the flavor of the parade here.
Academy Band coming up. We're about 50% of the way through, and we're looking forward to talking to some of the kids, seeing how their reaction is. We're having a big time down here on the street, but right now, it's about to get really loud, so I'm gonna send it back up to y'all.
Thank you, the Starkville Academy Volunteer Band, another supporter of the Starkville Christmas Parade. They'll perform for us, but first of all, this band consists of students in grades 7 through 12. In its 47th year, the band includes larger ensembles, such as the marching band and concert, but also small bands like the jazz band and the percussion ensemble. They added a new group last year with their Winter Guard program. Anyway, they are increasing in numbers. The drum major, Madeline Kelly. Let's listen to the Starkville Academy Volunteer Band. Majorette Lila Carter received first place overall at Jackson Academy in a recent competition, and they want us to know that the elementary band program starts in the 5th grade and is open to the 6th graders, and also that 6th grade members are allowed the opportunity to march in the parade, so I think we saw some of them. They're going to travel to Walt Disney World in January, so congratulations to Starkville Academy Volunteer Band. It looks like Michelle has an interview for us on the street. Michelle?
Yeah, speaking of Lila Carter, she joins me now, your Starkville Academy's homecoming queen, and you look absolutely beautiful tonight. Of course, this is not your first Christmas parade.
Right.
But you picked a cold one, didn't you?
Definitely. This is not my first Christmas parade, but it is one of the coldest for sure.
Okay, tell me about your homecoming queen experience.
It has just really been so great. I have all my friends have just been so supportive and sweet, and I feel very loved, and it's just been great.
Well, we congratulate you, and you got an older ride here, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's certainly a classic.
I think it fits the Christmas theme perfectly.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being with us, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle. You know, Lila is the daughter of Chad and Rachel Carter, and she's a member here at the Starkville First United Methodist Church and is on the dance team and is the feature twirler, and just so many wonderful things going on for Miss Lila Carter.
Next up, you may be able to hear them as they start to do some of their cheers. The Starkville Academy varsity cheer team. The girls attended a UCA camp last June in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and they won several awards there, including first place rally routine, first place in cheer, first place in sideline, overall game day champions, and the Camp Leadership Award. The SA cheerleaders lead the crowd at all football games and home basketball games. They are also very involved in other sports, clubs, and various school activities.
They're also smart because you see they have themselves covered up with a
That's
blanket.
right.
So good for them. Coming behind are their junior high cheerleaders. We would expect them to be as smart. They consist of 17 girls in 7th, 8th, and 9th grades, and they attend the UCA camp at Mississippi State in the spring as well. Now this time the junior high cheerleaders were given the Spirit Stick each night at camp and came home with a 2nd place trophy. They were multiple All-American cheerleaders selected, and leadership awards were given to the SA junior high cheerleader. During football season, you can see these guys at pep rallies for home games and cheer them on the football field on Thursday nights when the junior high plays. And winter brings basketball seasons, and the girl can be seen cheering as well. Oh my, look at this.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this.
You know what, guys? There has never been a donut that I've met that I haven't liked. And of course, Glaze from Chipley's Donuts, one of my personal favorites. Wow. Wow. Tell us a little bit about what y'all are doing out here tonight.
Well, we just promoting our donuts, and hopefully everybody enjoy eating them.
Oh, I think everybody can say that we all enjoy eating your donuts. You have seen me in your drive-thru more than one time, and more than a few, maybe more than times I should probably mention at this point. So Glaze, I understand you're in the Christmas spirit. Yeah? All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to hug it out. Are we going to hug it out, Glaze? Bring it in.
Okay.
Bring it in.
Thank you so
All
much,
right, thanks,
Michelle. Yeah, I know that the owners, Hardy and Melanie Mitchell, are very proud of those two and their contribution to the Starkville Christmas Parade. You know, it's kind of a tradition, like Michelle was talking about, to go and get those Shipley's donuts in Starkville. And we appreciate Glaze. His motto is Shipley's, making life delicious.
Well, I know my son, that's probably the highlight. Before Santa Claus gets here, so far the highlight for my 2-year-old son has been Glaze walking by where he and his mom are sitting. Next up, the MSU Extension Equine Assisted Therapy Program. This program and Veterans Horsemanship Program serve children with special needs and all active duty or retired veterans in the Golden Triangle and surrounding areas. The programs focus on the human and horse bond in order to achieve positive cognitive, physical, and emotional benefits for both children and veterans. What an amazing service they're providing to our community and to people across Mississippi.
And a first-time entry in the Starkville Christmas Parade. I think we could talk about them a lot longer because they have such a worthwhile program there. How wonderful that they chose to get some attention for it by being in the Starkville Christmas Parade and participating in a community program. the Claiborne at Adelaide. Here come the residents riding on their community bus, spreading Christmas cheer and waving and singing Christmas carols for our viewers. They opened in December of 2015, and they offer senior citizens the option of independent living, assisted living, and they also have a memory care unit. And of course, call if you would like to learn more about the Claiborne at Adelaide. You can call and they will be happy to give you tours. They do a great job out there.
And now we have, I think, what Michelle was looking forward to the most, other than Glaze, was the food truck. Schmidt and Jiggles food truck is there with Michelle on the street.
It's really my time to shine because I'm so excited that there's a food truck that's a part of our Christmas parade this year. All right, tell us a little bit about what we're doing.
Well, we have a little bit of a different style. We wanted to offer something a little different for a food truck, so we do multicultural cuisine. For lunch, we have dishes from places all over the world. So we try to do a little bit different. We come to Starkville at least once a week right now.
Okay, so where can we find you in Starkville on a normal day?
Usually we're at Starkville Daily News, but we have been making our way around town some lately too.
I am so happy to see you. Thank you so much for being a part of our Christmas parade. I'll take care.
Thank you, Michelle. And yet again, another new entry. We got to meet her as we were preparing for the Starkville Christmas Parade. We appreciate Schmitz and Jiggles food truck in the Starkville Christmas Parade.
Now, they're not throwing food at people, though. I was kind of hoping they'd be throwing food out as they walked by. Maybe next year.
Yeah, well, I have to remind Glaze about that with the donuts as well. They can swing
That's
right
right
by the steps of the First Methodist Church. You know, the folks on the news feature food and eat on TV all the time. We can do it too, Anthony.
Why not? Up next is the Starkville First Presbyterian Church. It's located downtown on University Drive, right around the corner from us here. Led by Pastor Martin Leifer, FPC, is now affiliated with the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, or the EPC, and serves the community in many different ways, including through the FPC Child Care and Casserole Kitchen. FPC Child Care, directed by Amanda Corley, is open to the entire community and retains a professional staff and encourages parental environment. Casserole Kitchen is an effort between FPC and 15 other local churches. The mission of Casserole Kitchen is to provide hot, nutritious meals to anyone in need in Starkville at no charge. Thanks to FPC for being here tonight and for their service to our community.
Made me particularly happy to see chicken wire on that float, a good old-fashioned float.
That's right.
And here we have, let's see.
I think we have the Cowboys.
The Cowboys. I didn't want to get them mixed up with the Steelers.
No, it's a rivalry there.
It is, and that's the Starkville Cowboys football and cheerleaders. This organization aims to teach all players in the fundamentals of football while instilling in them the leadership skills that will carry them through everyday life. The players have to know that they must respect their parents, teachers, coaches, and all adults, but they must also have a high level of respect for themselves as well. How important. Football and cheer coaches work to teach them valuable lessons.
And there you see the bus from Starkville Manor, an organization that loves taking care of the elderly in our community. They believe in the core values of honesty, integrity, passion, compassion, and respect. Starkville Manor prides themselves on providing adequate care for residents by giving them a home away from home. Starkville Manor has been a citywide tailgate winner here in Starkville for their division in 2017 and this year in 2019. Congrats to them on winning those awards.
So happy to welcome the Longview Disciples 4-H Club, a new entry. They are community service providers. They do an excellent job. They have won the Volunteer Group of the Year, Outstanding Club, Volunteer Spirit Banner Club, and the First Lady and Lieutenant Governor Awards. So many awards, and Michelle is with them now.
So I had to stop this float because this is kind of what the judges were talking about. Lots of lights, lots of colors. Y'all talk to me just a minute. Are y'all having fun tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me what you do on a day-to-day basis for our community.
Help the community.
Tell me about one project y'all do.
We have made projects where we will help the little kids out with art.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
That means that Santa's probably going to come see all of you. Thank y'all so much for everything y'all do, okay? Give me a good Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas!
Yes.
What a great job with that float. They've got a lot of stuff going on there,
Yeah.
Anthony. I think they're trying to hit all those judges' criteria.
I'm impressed. They, like you said, they're going for a trifecta in front of the judges here at the church.
And she did a great job of talking about one of their activities, but they also volunteer for Starkville Community Day. They volunteer for MLK Day service. They volunteer for the National Night Out on Crime. They work with nursing homes, back-to-school events, and they even have a casserole kitchen. And this year they collected backpacks and donated them to the youth in the Columbus School District that were affected by the tornadoes.
Awesome. Coming up next, here come the Steelers. That's right, the Starkville Steelers Pee Wee football program. This organization has really grown over the past year. They are building and striving to push the youth of the city through football and cheer, and most importantly, pushing them to be a leader for their peers. Both the 7- and 8-year-old and 9- and 10-year-old teams went to the league championship game this year, and the 11- and 12-year-old team also had an outstanding season.
Look, Anthony, this is very unique and creative. Boardtown Bikes in our parade for the first time pulling a sleigh. There have been in Starkville for 11 years, and they offer full sales and service for bicycle enthusiasts. And luckily, Santa's elves are riding all the bikes this year.
Getting a workout too, the elves are.
Look at Rudolph, or at least one of the reindeer. You could tell by his reindeer ears, right?
That's right. There he is right there, walking beside the OCH truck. OCH Regional Medical Center is the proud recipient of the Gold Seal of Approval from DNV. OCH also holds an ISO certification, illustrating an organization-wide commitment to providing high-quality health care and excellence in patient safety. Since 1982, OCH has invested almost $98.6 million in improvements to their facilities and upgrades to equipment and technology. In 2011 alone, they provided more than $2.5 million in charity. So there they are, serving our community in more ways than one.
Wow. Young Life, these leaders and high school students that they minister to are now walking alongside and celebrating the beginning of the Christmas season with this annual tradition of being in the Starkville Christmas Parade. This is Young Life's 3rd year to be in the Starkville Christmas Parade. One thing before we go further, I just thought it was tremendous. Did you know that OCH employs over 600 people and has 96 beds? 26,000 annual emergency room visitors. That's just tremendous. And they're always in the Starkville Christmas Parade. Thank you, OCH.
Vital to our community, OCH is. Here's our 3rd Cub Scout pack. Cub Scout Pack 14 is chartered by the Starkville Rotary Club. They're a small, fun pack that is proud to have earned gold-level recognition from the Boy Scouts of America. The pack enjoys forming close relationships with team members while doing a number of educational exercises, outdoor activities, and service projects. The group consists of 33 boys and girls from kindergarten through the 5th grade.
A favorite entry of mine every year coming up is the Rolling Hills Development Center. They are part of the Starkville community and have been since 1976, serving the needs of 140 residents with developmental and physical disabilities. They provide active teaching in areas such as daily living skills, communication and socialization, and they offer a variety of activities to the residents. And they have participated, are you ready for this, Anthony, in the Starkville Christmas Parade for over 15 years.
Nice.
Something for them to look forward to and something for us to look forward to as well. Rolling Hills Development Center.
And that truck is festive.
Yes. Going for those awards, maybe.
That's
Best,
right. Also going for some of the awards tonight, here comes Champions Towing. That's right. Need a lift? You can call Champions Towing. We are welcoming them to the parade for the first time. Their new wrecker is decked with lights, tinsel, and bows. Champions Towing, 24-hour towing operation within the Golden Triangle area.
And speaking of lights and bows and music, Orange Theory Fitness in Starkville, backed by science, they have heart rate monitor training designed to maintain a target zone to stimulate metabolism. Get this, Anthony, they want to keep your heart rate at 500 to 1,000 calories burned in 60 minutes. That will keep burning for up to 36 hours. I need to go there really badly. And This fun exhibit encourages me to do just that. Welcome to fabulous Stark Vegas. I love that. Great shot, guys.
They might win the award for loudest float.
They might. They had everything going on there, all the elements. KMG Creations Dance, Fitness, and Productions. Kayla Marie Gilmore, a friend of Starkville and the First United Methodist Church, has started many events such as Dancing in the Park and since 2009. And she also is the creator of Street Dance, celebrating National Dance Day and honoring Mr. Charles La La Evans. That's in September. And she also continues to do creative things and will be opening a local studio soon.
And welcome back to the parade, the Magnolia Film Festival, affectionately known as the MAG. It's a nonprofit organization whose mission is to bring quality independent cinema to the Golden Triangle area and to support the growing film industry within our state. The MAG is a proud member of the GSDP. It's the first and longest running film festival in the entire state and is known for being an intimate filmmaker-friendly festival that each year puts on a great show here in Starkville.
Following them is the Oktibbeha County Head Start, where students are bringing their favorite Disney characters to life tonight in the parade.
Wow.
They think Christmas time is a magical experience. And I hear that Michelle is walking alongside with these great guys. They are a nonprofit corporation headquartered in Holly Springs, Mississippi, Oktibbeha County Head Start. Michelle?
Yeah, so I'm not walking anymore. I found a ride here in the Winter Wonderland. We've got people who are doing a little bit with the princesses and Elsa. Do you love Elsa? Yeah, do you like Frozen? Are you having so much fun? I love your float. I love your float. Is Santa going to come see you?
Yes.
Have you been good? Well, I love your float. All right, guys, we're just going to ride on. I don't need anything else. I don't
Be safe.
Oh, and we've got King and Queen, so we'll make sure to get them on the way out, okay? Y'all wait for me.
Oktibbeha County Head Start.
Wait for me.
Look at that.
Hi, sweethearts.
Michelle has the right idea. Just hitch a ride at this point.
And looking very stately there, the King and Queen, Oktibbeha County Head Start. They're also in our parade often, so thank you to these guys. I know they're having fun and have some best use of theme there, I think.
I agree. Coming up next, Tammy Tubbs, host of the Tammy Tubbs Show. Tammy relocated her home to Mississippi to start the Tammy Tubbs Show in memory of her sons Terrence and Aaron, who succumbed to spinal muscular atrophy. Guests travel from near and far to be a part of this wonderful program as Tammy inspires viewers to keep the faith. The Tammy Tubbs Show airs on Christian TV Network every Sunday, 7 a.m. and Thursday, 11:30 a.m. It's also on WEPH TV, Channel 49. It's on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, and also Apple TV.
Following along is Renaissance Bank Mortgage and Insurance, headquartered in Tupelo, serving people in Mississippi for over 113 years with 175 community banking, insurance, mortgage, and financial services offices. What a beautiful float. They operate as a community bank in each of their markets, and here in Starkville they offer traditional banking services as well as many others and are proud to have a strong presence in some of the best markets in the Mid-South and continue to build upon their legacy. That is a great float using all the themes. They're throwing things at our camera, our cameraman and our reporter on the street, Michelle Lowe. The local Renaissance Bank is committed to supporting our local community and as well as Mississippi State University sponsoring many worthwhile projects and events, and we appreciate the bank's presence in the parade. We encourage other banks to do the same thing.
Our next float is entered by Cross Point Church. This is the first time Cross Point's had a float in the parade here in Starkville in about 10 years, Mel. The float is a recreation of Town and Gown magazine, with the cover story being "Oh Little Town of Bethlehem." The float was designed and built by a group of volunteers from the church that included children, youth, college students, and adults. Cross Point Church was started in August of 2005, and currently they have a worship service in the Starkville Sportsplex on Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. They also have an office and ministry building located at 903 Stark Road, where they host their other weekly ministries here in town.
Stephen Steamers also supports youth activities in the community by sponsoring sports in the city leagues, and they've also coached for the last 5 years. Welcome to the Starkville Christmas Parade. The owner has been in business for the last 17 years serving the Golden Triangle. Stephen Steamers were voted the best carpet and water restoration service in the Golden Triangle for the last several years, and I believe this may be a new entry as well. I want to congratulate the partnership for really getting interest and having some new entries in the parade this year. Good job.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job, as they usually do, in organizing the parade. Next up is Perkins Little Treasures, and Michelle's hanging out with them on the street.
You know what? It's either going to be food or the cutest folks in Starkville. Wait a second. Our little king here's got to tell us something. What do you tell us? Wait, now what? Say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
There you go.
Guess what? Wait a minute. You're so great. Listen, you know what I heard? I heard that Santa was right behind us.
Is Santa behind us?
I know. I know. I know, so you better behave now. Okay. All right, King. Good to see you. All right, wave to everybody.
A very animated little king there. Thank you, Michelle.
He's ready to go.
He's ready. The newly opened Perkins Little Treasures Learning Center provides daycare for 38 children in the Starkville community, owned by Jimmy and Vicki Perkins of Starkville, located on Martin Luther King Drive West. Thank you.
Next up, the Starkville-Oktibbeha County School District. All I Want for Christmas is a Jacket Family Town and Gown Christmas is their float theme. The Starkville-Oktibbeha School District shares a strong partnership with MSU and the greater Starkville community that support excellent learning experiences for their students. Their float celebrates the strength of that relationship and its many gifts this season and throughout the year. The Starkville-Oktibbeha School District is an award-winning 6A school district with students who excel in academics, arts, and athletics.
And behind them, the Starkville High School Band, the award-winning band under the direction of Mr. Sean Sullivan, consistently receiving superior ratings at their events and named grand champion at least one of those events. They were grand champion at least one marching contest every year over the last 5 years. Wow. Let's listen to the Starkville High School Band. Wow, the Starkville High School Marching Band is the grand champion of the Pirate Classic in Winfield, and a tremendous statistic. They have received straight superior ratings from the MHSAA State Marching Festival for the last 12 years. Congratulations, Starkville High School Band, and thank you for being here with us. More students giving of their time in the Starkville Christmas Parade.
Right behind them, your 2019 Starkville High School Homecoming Queen and King, Miss Taylor Rupp and Mr. Joshua Aka. Starkville High School Student Council sponsors the annual Starkville High School Homecoming Parade and is very active in the community through canned food drives, teddy bear collections for children in hostile situations, and with the Salvation Army. Congrats to Taylor and Joshua.
And Michelle is there with them right now, Miss Yellow Jacket. Michelle?
Yeah, I'd like to introduce everybody to Miss Gracie Buckley. She is bringing the shine just with her crown. Gracie, thank you so much for being with us. Tell us a little bit about your title.
I was crowned Miss Yellow Jacket last year in February, and you know, it's just a really big honor, and I'm very happy to represent my school as Miss Yellow Jacket.
Okay, so what are you doing now?
Right now, what do you mean? What am I doing right now?
School or?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm a senior in high school, and going to Mississippi State next year, and I'm crowning the new Miss Yellow Jacket on February 15th.
All right, just around the corner. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Michelle. Isn't she beautiful? And she is staying warm as well in that convertible. Cool car. Great job.
Next up is Miss Armstrong Middle School Yellow Jacket. That's Gracie Ann Clara Williams, currently a freshman at Starkville High School. She is the reigning 2019 Miss Armstrong Middle School. Gracie Ann enjoys cooking and riding horses. She attends First United Methodist Church of Starkville, where she is very active in the youth program. Gracie Ann has taken part in several missions trips, both domestically and internationally. She is the daughter of Bart and Cynthia Williams of Starkville.
And the Armstrong Middle School band there, let's listen to them while they're in front of us. It's an 8th grade band performing many tunes along the parade route, including Jingle Bell Rock. So the group consists mostly of 8th graders with a few 7th graders, and they perform at ball games and under the direction of excellent band directors there at Armstrong Middle School.
And there you see the Eco Car from Mississippi State. Eco Car is a collegiate automotive engineering competition which provides hands-on experience designing and building the next generation of mobility solutions. MSU's Eco Car has received multiple first-place finishes since first competing 15 years ago.
The Starkville Area Rapid Transit, otherwise known as the SMART transportation system, is in our parade, providing an integrated system of professional, safe, and efficient public transportation systems and services that contribute to the increased needs of our community and Mississippi State University, committed to providing safe, efficient, and reliable mobility.
And here comes the DARE, the drug education program put on by Starkville PD. Back in '83, DARE was started in California, and DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. DARE founders chose Darren the Lion as its official mascot. There you see some SPD officers handing out some goodies to some of the kids in attendance.
Miss Maroon and White is Rachel Shoemaker, a junior communication major from Pontotoc, and is sponsored by the Oktibbeha County MSU Alumni Chapter, which invites anyone who loves Bulldogs in Oktibbeha County to be a supporter of the university and to get involved with the Oktibbeha County Alumni Chapter. They meet regularly, and you are invited to attend.
And there is the Starkville Homeschool Music Cooperative. They have provided music offerings to area students for almost 15 years. Students have performed at area community events such as the Cotton District Arts Festival and MSU basketball games. The Starkville Homeschool Music Co-op consists of 2 bands directed by Dr. Clifton Taylor and 3 choirs directed by Sarah Hohen, Ari Hill, and Krista McGrew.
Wow, and that was providing some beautiful music as they came by. The East Mississippi Lumber Company is one of the oldest participants in the Starkville Christmas Parade, off and on through the years, because they are one of the oldest businesses in the Starkville area, and we appreciate we appreciate their participation in the parade.
And now I think we have the star of the show. Yes, there he is, Santa Claus himself, presented by the Starkville Rotary Club. The club was founded in 1924, but now consists now of more than 180 community leaders representing Starkville's businesses, educational institutions, and governmental bodies. Individually and as a club, Rotarians have taken leading roles in the United Way, Red Cross, and other community service organizations. This year's Rotary Club was instrumental in getting Santa to Starkville all the way from the North Pole. Thank you, Rotary, and thank you, Santa Claus, for being here at the tail end of our 2019 Christmas Parade.
Every year, the Starkville Rotary provides the float for Santa Claus, and we appreciate that so much. But you know, I think they've done something different. That is one of the most beautiful of the floats that I've seen in many years, and how wonderful for Santa. You know, we do brag here, Anthony, that we get Santa Claus first because we have our Christmas parade every year on the Monday after Thanksgiving.
That's right.
So straight from the North Pole, the big man himself, he comes down, he gives our children the first message, and just participates in the parade every year. They're preparing Santa Claus now, y'all, to come and join us on set. So I want to tell you guys, if you have little ones, he's actually going to look in the camera, and he is going to give you a special message because he does not discriminate.
That's
he
right.
talks to the naughty and he talks to the nice.
That's right.
And we would do well to listen to what Santa Claus has to say.
Trying to encourage the naughty to become nice.
That's exactly
is
right.
the main goal here.
You know, I'm always a little hesitant in asking him which list my name appears on because he will tell you straight up he knows all that in his head.
You know it's the nice list.
Absolutely.
You're on the
always.
nice list, Mel. You are every year.
Absolutely. He will be here for us for a short interview, and then we have another special interview. It's kind of sad when the Starkville Rotary Club float appears, Anthony, because that means that the Starkville Christmas Parade has come to an end. And this has been a great one.
Yeah. What we had 60 entries in total come right in front of our broadcast setup, and they all look great. And to cap it off with the big man himself on the North Pole is a great way to end what is always a very special event each year here in our community.
Yes, and Santa Claus is approaching now, followed by Michelle. And I know that Michelle is close to the judges' table because I think they have tabulated the results of their decision for winners of the 2019 Starkville Christmas Parade. Michelle, are you there with our judges?
Actually, Melanie, that may have been a little bit of a false alarm. They are still adding up all their scores. So while we're doing that, here's one of the most important judges, Miss Olivia. You just saw Santa come through. What is it that you want for Christmas this year?
Pop the Pig.
Have you been good?
Yes.
Yes. Did you like the parade? Tell me your favorite part. The music was your favorite part? Who do you think the judges are going to pick for the best float?
Santa?
You know what? Santa's always one of the favorites. So we're going to wait just a few minutes and see if they agree with you, okay? All right. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Michelle, and what a great segue she gave us, saying that Santa was the best entry in the parade, and
Absolutely.
now we have him on set. Welcome, Santa Claus.
Thank you. It is always so good to be in Starkville.
Well, tell us, because you have just ridden the route. You saw all those boys and girls. What did it look like from on top of that float? How did we look this year?
Really good.
Great. Good.
Whole bunches of people.
Yeah.
And the new building back where Cooterville Apartments used to be really adds a lot to downtown.
That's a special Santa Claus that remembers things from your community, I tell you.
He has knowledge.
48 annual Starkville Christmas parades, and to my knowledge, Santa Claus hasn't missed one of them. So thank you very much. Now tell us, what gifts this year are you focusing on? What seems to be the most popular?
Once again, hoverboards are big.
Okay.
And from the other end, LOL dolls are, well, they're not big, but a lot of people are asking for them.
There you go. Well, what about the traditional gifts, Santa Claus, like balls and bats and dolls? And
I've had one request for a bat.
Okay.
And I had one request for a goat.
A goat?
I've never been asked for a goat before.
Okay, maybe it's that new thing about goat yoga. Maybe that's what it is. They want to do some yoga with their
Breaking
goat.
news.
Breaking news.
Goats are big this year.
That's
in 2019.
You heard it here.
Now, Anthony has a little one. Anthony has Jacob. How old is Jacob?
Jacob is 2.5.
Okay.
Not quite old enough for a goat.
No, not quite old enough for a goat or for a hoverboard, thankfully.
Right.
We'll get there soon. But we asked, my wife and I asked him what he wanted for Christmas, what he wanted to tell Santa, and he said, all I want's a Christmas tree.
Oh, well, that's
And I said, well, Santa can handle that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Sure.
Well, Santa always does a good job of bringing things back down to the foundation, you know, like a Christmas tree or like the simple gifts or like the true meaning of Christmas, right, Santa?
That's what it's really all about.
Yes.
Santa's neat, but he pales in comparison to why we actually do this.
That is exactly right, and how wonderful that we can be an expression of that. So Santa,
That's right.
you know, I always encourage you to look into the camera over there. You know, here's our camera. I want you to look into the camera, being that you're here in Starkville first, and give a special message to our boys and girls on campus, from the folks out there and from our community folks. Give them a special message.
Well, since this is a campus and community Christmas parade, I'd like to wish all the students and faculty and staff a Merry, Merry Christmas. And guys, behave, okay? It's almost over. And to folks in town, Starkville is truly a great place to live. And remember to appreciate that, particularly during the Christmas season.
Wow. Thank you, Santa Claus. We appreciate you very much. We really do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being in our parade and making our broadcast, just putting the exclamation point at the end of a tremendous broadcast and a tremendous parade.
Well, thank you. I'm glad that I can be an exclamation point.
Yeah. Well, so, you know, I don't want to put you on the spot here, but because we're feeling really special in Starkville, but tell us, where are you going next, or where are you heading out to? Have you been doing some photo ops and things like that?
This weather reminds me of home. So I'll be heading back to the North Pole, but you know, I will be around the Golden Triangle in lots of different places, so don't be surprised if you look up and see this guy with a big white beard.
Now, are you getting plenty of rest, too, before the big day?
I need to be getting more, but it's hard to sleep with all those cookies I've already eaten, you know?
Yeah. Well, to Santa Claus, we want to say thanks again.
Yes.
I think we may
You're
have
welcome.
some judges' decisions. I think that we have some sponsors to thank again. And so we're going to continue to wrap up the Starkville Christmas Parade by thanking our sponsors and going to commercial break. But we want to encourage you guys at home and watching on the internet to stick around. We have a very special interview coming up with our new Chief Executive Officer of the Greater Starkville Development Partnership in collaboration with Research and Development at Mississippi State. So you guys stand by while we thank our sponsors, and we will be right back for the conclusion of our broadcast.
And I'm so glad that all of you were able to join us through the duration of the Starkville Christmas Parade. But now it's time to hear from the judges, their pick favorites. Let's start with number one.
We picked, for the theme, we picked Renaissance Bank.
Okay.
A lot of work was put into that float. So that got best of theme. Best use of lights was Starkville Utilities. They went crazy on the truck. The truck went, it was fantastic. And Cub Scout Pack 127, which they put a lot of work into the lights, so it was really fantastic. And best overall was Cross Point Church. They really captured the theme of Starkville and what it's all about, and they really captured the theme of Town and Gown.
All right, thank you so much. Well, you heard it here first. We have our winners. We're going to send it back upstairs to you guys.
Thank you very much, Michelle. What great work. We've just wrapped it up right there. And, you know, not saying that I could predict the future, but I saw that best use of lights coming.
Yes. That was an easy one to pick, I think.
Absolutely. Welcome back, everyone, to our broadcast as we're going to conclude it with something really special tonight. You know, tonight's theme was Town and Gown. We talked a lot about the community and the university, the partnership, and all of us working together. And so it is our pleasure to have with us Mike Taggart to talk with us about some of the things going on in the future. Mike, as of January 7th, will become the new Chief Executive Officer of the Greater Starkville Development Partnership. Also in collaboration with Mississippi State University, he is the Associate Director of Corporate Engagement and Partnership. Mike, we appreciate your being with us. What a great, fun night. Did you enjoy the parade itself?
Oh, we had such a great time. We had a couple of kids in the parade itself, and we just had a great time. It's always a great community event.
Well, he said he had a couple of kids. Let me tell you, in his intro, I've got a lot of great things to say about Mike Taggart, but one thing I'm really impressed with is that he has 4 children under the age of 13, a resident here of Starkville, and he and his lovely wife look relatively sane every time I see them hanging around the First United Methodist Church.
I don't know. It's not a pretty sight sometimes, but it's our life. We love it, and we love living here in Starkville.
And of course, he told me something fun. He said that, you know, I was talking to him. He's currently the Commissioner of Transportation for the Northern District in the state of Mississippi, serving over 1 million residents. And so today, earlier, he told me something funny about his qualifications as Transportation Commissioner. Can you tell everyone about that?
Well, I often joke with working with different communities that as a father and with our family with children all under the age of 4 children under the age of 13, that if you can handle the logistics of moving those 4 kids around at their ages, then you're pretty well qualified as transportation commissioner these days.
Yes.
You're a pro at transporting people.
We are certainly a pro at the logistics of transporting kids and all their activities, and tonight was the latest example of that. We had a great time tonight, and I know they did too.
Yes, it was a great parade. But let's move forward and let's talk about what's going on now between our community and Mississippi State through this collaboration, through your new position. You'll remain as Transportation Commissioner until the 6th of January and then begin this new role on the 7th of January. Tell us a little bit about that so that folks at home and so that all of us will really understand what's going on with this new position.
Yeah, it's a great example of, in fact, tonight with your theme of Town and Gown and the great partnership and cooperation between our university and the city of Starkville and this whole community. It's a great example of moving forward on that, the natural evolution of working together. This is an opportunity for us there's so much common ground, there's so much commonality between the needs of the city of Starkville and the university that it makes sense to work together formally. And so, you know, as we're talking about corporate engagement and corporate partnerships and economic partnerships, which are all obviously very important to the partnership, but they're also extremely important to the university because they want to build on those corporate engagements and corporate partnerships with their allies too to further their research efforts. Mississippi State is a world-class research institution. And to engage with different corporate partnerships and different engagements for that, you know, it only builds different opportunities going forward.
Mike, are there some specific goals for year one when you start next month?
Well, we're certainly defining that, and the leadership of the university and the partnership have made it clear that they want to build on what we've had in the past, which is we've got a lot of high-tech opportunities that the university has fostered and nurtured over time, and we're seeing those companies that are returning and building a corporate headquarters, corporate partnerships right here in Starkville. And we want to make certain that those people that are, maybe they went to school here and now they've chosen, it's their choice to live here because it's such a great community. We want to make certain that they have the quality of life that they require. You know, community is so much about quality of life, and we have to make sure that we are that kind of community that attracts those kinds of investment, and to make sure that they feel comfortable with where they live.
And I understand that there are some very unique opportunities in terms of economic development when you are in a college town.
Yes, absolutely. You know, we are all very fortunate to live in Starkville. What a great, growing, and thriving community that it is. One that is growing, you know, instead of declining as we see in so many parts of our country. But it's a great opportunity. The university offers so many resources, and we're all very fortunate to take advantage of that. And so the working together with the partnership, making sure that we improved collectively and together, we improve that quality of life. to make it the best it can possibly be is really important, and especially in a college town where you have the resources of a major world-class research institution. And we have people who want to participate in that and make Starkville their home. Not to mention on the many weekends throughout the year where we have 50 or 60,000 of our closest friends who participate and come to visit. It presents obvious infrastructure and transportation, for example, issues that we need to make certain that we always address, and we just make it the kind of visit and the kind of opportunity that they look for.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, you have the support of our community. You have the support of our university. This is going to be wonderful for all of us, and we look forward to seeing what you are going to be able to do. And we just want you to know that we're here to help you.
Well, thank you very much. We're so fortunate to be a part of this community and to get to work with the university and the partnership in this capacity.
Yes. Well, thank you for being with us. We're going to wrap up our broadcast with some thank yous for all this big production that we had tonight at the Starkville Christmas Parade, but you just topped it off perfectly, and we appreciate your help and participation in the Starkville Christmas Parade broadcast.
Thank you, and
we
Merry
wish
Christmas.
you the best. Yeah, you too.
Merry Christmas.
So we couldn't end the Starkville Christmas Parade without saying thank you to the partnership, of course, to the volunteers here at First United Methodist Church in the media ministry. A special thank you to Bill Green, who is our media minister here at First United Methodist Church, for working with us. We thank our sponsors. We thank our director, Stephen Tribble. We thank our producer, Parker Lee, our engineers, Olin and Ross Swanner, and all the volunteers. I don't have time to thank all of them, but it was just a great collaborative effort. And a special thank you to our supporters from the past, the present, and the future, but especially the Joe Cardwell family, Dr. Joe Cardwell and Miss Leota Cardwell. We could not be where we are today without them, and we appreciate them. We love them. You know, it is a season for being appreciative, for being thankful, for being loving, and we encourage you guys at home to do just that. We thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we wish you a very Merry Christmas. Anthony, thank you for being with us. Merry Christmas to you, too.
What a thrill it was to be here, Melanie, and Merry Christmas to you as well.
Thank you, and good night.